The Devil's Den. In St. Monica's heart, clustered like a disease on her boulevard, is the Devil's Den, a place women forbid themselves to go without men, a place where dickless devils are when you need to buy a car. Never need anything when dealing with the devil's men. Need is something they can smell in hell. And hey, I needed a car. After a scarred Caucasian ex-con cowboy type beat me into a lick-it-up kind of Zen experience with the pavement, yelling, "This is an armed robbery." Like I couldn't tell. What an asshole. This is an armed robbery. I saw that arm strangle me, that arm hit me, and last but not least that arm rob me, then drive off in my little red car. I laid in the street for a second or two, and I stared at an old lady who watched me like her TV set. Out of the cast and into physical therapy, I waltzed like an Amazonian huntress into the Devil's Den. No birds sang on this car lot. No breeze stirred between the battlefield of shiny new cars. The devil sat behind mirrored windows, in a black leather chair under a bad copy of an ink-washed bullfighter by Picasso. A starved Venus flytrap. The devil's Venus started to rise, watching the most wondrous delicacy of all. A woman, alone. The devil called for Diego de Bondo, his #1 salesman. De Bondo had sold his soul to the devil like any actor out of work whose ego would not allow him to wait tables. De Bondo thought he was cooler than a rerun of Robert Wagner wearing a Nehru jacket in To Catch a Thief. A cross between Howard Stern and Andrew Dice Clay, a man who never got laid. This was hell, without a doubt. You'd look great driving one of these, like it only matters to women what they look like driving a car. Cooing at his next pigeon, De Bondo placed his hand on my knee. I told him if he wanted to keep his sweet teeth in his car-selling skull and live another day as the devil's #1 man, to remove his hand. I did not survive my shame just to let him play a slimy game. I am a woman, not some bimbo star, and I am here simply to buy a car. The rule of thumb in the Devil's Den is if there are slimy, icky, awful men who, like De Bondo, really just want to be a friend, will dangle the car of your dreams on a string, wearing you down as part of the scheme. De Bondo disappeared, locking me in a small red room. I felt like Doris Day after being stuck in a 4-day bubble bath. The devil sat before me, a creature so evil he looked normal. Overweight, with a bad perm, but normal. I said with a plea, "I have to leave." The devil whispered sweetly, "Not until you buy a car from me." Now, sisters, learn from me. When you enter the Devil's Den, take a friend. You buy tampons alone, not cars alone. Pride, foolish pride, made me the apple of the devil's eye, and later I was forced to be his bride. I am the goddess Persephone, once a maiden girl, now queen of the underworld, here to guide and remind you. The devil's not a real smart guy. He doesn't want a piece of your spiritual pie. Your body won't be bruised, so try not to get confused. He wants your money, honey. That's his only plan, and because you're not a man, he thinks he can get the upper hand. Mothers, daughters, women, girls, listen to the queen of the underworld. Take a friend when you enter the Devil's Den, because Diego de Bondo is waiting for you. And like a starved Venus flytrap, the devil waits for a woman alone.